everything worked. There's only two things that did not work successfully. One, the bathroom, the toilet.
Oh
It
no.
worked. Well, remember, this is the first moon mission with a toilet included.
They just used bags before, right?
Yeah, so they had the bags as backup. And Outlook didn't work
Qu-
well.
quote quote from space.com. I stuffed that little guy in a dry bag and we had her survival kit and hooked the bag onto my pressure suit.
So, also, Outlook did not work.
Yep.
Outlook did not work, but every space mission has a zero G indicator. Normally, it's a little stuffed doll.
Mm-hmm.
And NASA had a contest, and it was designed by a small child, and basically uh, named Rise. And it's a moon with a cap with the Earth on the top of the cap and stars on the bill. And they got a little SD card with like 6.7 million names, and they put it inside of it. So those names kind of went around the moon.
Okay.
And the original, first of all, I would say a couple things became just pop culture out of the launch. One was Rise, because you just see this little ball kind of floating around. They throw it side while someone's having an interview. You see them throwing it side to side behind them, which is always fun. And then Nutella was also a major success, as when they were doing something on camera, a jar of Nutella somehow came loose and just floated across the camera in perfect shot, very slowly. And people are like, is Artemis funded by Nutella? Is there secret Nutella money involved? And like, no, it was just coincidence. You know, if Nutella wants to run with it like they did for Tang back in the 60s, go for it.
Mm-hmm.
But the original idea, when they splashed down, and for people who are used to, let's say, the space shuttle where you land like a plane, they went back to splashing down in the ocean. So you had your splashdown. They had to go out there with a boat, and the idea was you get the astronauts off first. And because they were in zero G for basically 10 days, even though they exercised, they didn't know how well they would actually, be able to walk or stand. So they were going to get them off on the rafts and then back to the boat. And the idea was Rise, the little zero G indicator,
Mm-hmm.
would stay on Artemis, and it would get towed in with the rest of the craft.
Okay.
And the commander, Reed Wiseman, he was like, I don't want to leave it. So he stowed it in the dry bag. So they have a dry bag, since they're in the ocean. They have a bag they can stuff their stuff, and they'll stay dry in case they have to. Again, NASA thinks of every what ifs,
Mm-hmm.
and the what if is, and it happened once back, one of the Gemini missions, I think, where it was Liberty. I think it was Liberty Bell 7, so it may have been a Mercury mission. Um, the capsule, it was rough oceans. The capsule tilted, and the astronaut had to get out. He was fine. The capsule went to the bottom of the ocean. So they have, okay, worst case scenario, you grab your bag, you get out. If we lose a capsule, we don't want to, but we can get people out. Well, he wanted to make sure that that Rise came with him, because he went around the moon with them.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing that was nice is they put on, because it was the moon, the commander's wife passed around 2 years ago, and they wanted to name a crater on the moon after her, Carol. And so they wrote on the side of Rise, Carol. So it's something he really wanted to keep.
Mm-hmm.
So he kind of, he said, well, I could follow procedure, or I can kind of sneak it in here and get it off. After all, these are people. They're astronauts, but they're just people. So he snuck it in there, got it off. And later on, he attached it to a little water bottle, and he took it home with him. So, and NASA even said, yeah, we want to do it and use Rise as the mascot if we can get it off for Reed.
Mm-hmm.
And there's tons of You have where the pilot, his neighborhood threw a makeshift parade for him when he got home. You have Christina, one of the mission specialists. They showed her dog reacting when she came home.
Nice.
Again, so much. There's so much, unfortunately, negative going on right now, and it, there was, it was all positive.
It's a nice shared moment that
It
isn't
was.
dreadful right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like yeah, that's the big thing. Like a lot of people were kind of pontificating about it, like, oh, this is a good thing that's happening, you know. Yeah, there's some great stuff. We actually ended up on a call yesterday with somebody, the from Boeing, that they were kind of talking about how excited they were about how things went, and we talked about the outlook issue a little bit too. So, but no, very excited about that because I know there's a couple people from Boeing. They're going to be at an event this weekend, so I'm sure there's going to be a lot of conversation around how that everything went up there. So, but no, that's very cool. No, it's nice to see that, and I think the word is like we're looking to step foot on by 2028.
Yeah.
For like I think Artemis 4. If it looks sounds like about one a year at this point. So
In the beginning, yeah.
mhm.
But NASA has what they want to do is Artemis 3 will be low Earth orbit only, but they're going to test both the SpaceX and Blue Origin landers.
Mhm.
So they're going to go up there and make sure, see which one's better for docking. In my mind, what would be best is if you could have both going.
Mhm.
That way you have a backup manufacturer, or if you want to have more, you don't have to worry about only one manufacturer. We'll see if that happens. But so the next one's just low Earth orbit and making sure everything works. And again, NASA's very careful with people. And
Yeah.
so, they also know that, especially when you get early on like this, if something happens, the question is, you know, would Congress continue to fund something?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, and this,
And
if you watch early movies, like that was a lot. If you watch, I think maybe like Hidden Figures or, oh
mhm,
gosh, what's another moon movie that I think I saw? Oh, the Fly Me to the Moon one that was that I think pontificated like the oh we actually did film a fake version of this in case
yeah,
this doesn't work, everything from we couldn't get a signal from the moon because we obviously had never done that before. And I don't think it was based entirely on a true story. I think it was
no,
it was a little
no,
more lapooning. But there was bits about like one of the early Apollos did have like a million a mission, an explosion malfunction or something like that. So and that is the conversation. Well, President so and so wants to be wasn't doesn't want to be the one that killed Americans trying to get to the moon, right?
yeah,
So like would be anything. It's a PR thing, right? So they
no,
gotta get it right. They will probably not have a second chance if you don't get a mulligan on this,
right,
kind of
right.
thing.
And if you want to see something that's a little, it'll give you a little bit of a pause.
Mm-hmm.
Nixon had two speeches
Mm-hmm.
prepared for him
Yep.
when Apollo 11 landed. He had a successful one, and he had if they died.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a speech ready for him to go on air saying, you can hear it, and someone did an AI thing with him reading it. I think it was an AI thing with him reading it.
Mm-hmm.
And you could hear what would happen if it didn't work successfully.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that's something you don't want to think about, but you almost have to think, what if?
Yeah. No, absolutely. So yeah, it's a really kind of an important moment for us right now, and I think that's really cool. We get to do this, and again, we talked about hey, For All Mankind is yeah, I've been watching that lately, and and it's got like kind of that thinking of like, man, what if we did call it? Oh, a hint, it doesn't end up going well for us. For
No,
the people that are on Mars, in like something like 2016, I think they're up to now. But it is what it is. Yeah. So, anyways, getting back to Earth, man, I feel like my awesome thing is like so nothing in comparison. Well, on the Earth, we are still accomplishing things. We are, no, in this case, let me get this link opened up here again. In this case. I love when people are taking old things. How many Doom can run on its stories have we done over the 15 plus years of this show, right? And the latest one that popped up that I got a kick out of because I've been poking at some old Wii's. My brother was showing him his Wii U that he had some homebrew on that I was playing with when we went out for Easter. And this is the latest. Someone has ported Mac OS to a Nintendo Wii, the original, partly because a Redditor said it was impossible. So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the Wii uses a PowerPC 750CL processor, which is an evolution of the chip used in some G3 iBooks and G3 iMacs. We're talking the early 2000s at this point, so you get the kind of idea. So there were some similar hardware deals there. So that's why we ended up with Mac OS. And we're talking like Mac OS X, like 10.0. So like the original first edition Mac OS is what they're showing here as a possibility on the old Wii, which released in, oh my God, what was that, like 2000, I don't know, 4 or something like that. So the Wii uses the memory. The Wii uses 88 megabytes total of memory, which is 4 megabytes less than the 128 of RAM that the Mac OS X10 officially calls for. So they had to do a little bit of cramming to make it work, to make it work with 64 megabytes. So. Oh no! There was a setting that make it run with 64 megabytes. Can you do much with it? No, probably not. But it is running, and I think that's the biggest point, is making it work as far as that goes.
So this is the new. Is Mac OS going to be the new?
Can we run it?
Yeah.
Well, you've seen
because we all know everything can run Doom.
We've seen so many old.
It can run.
Right, we've seen so many old Windows kind of ports as well. Like, hey, here's something that's running like Windows 98 or something like that, or XP, that we've seen over the years too. So, I thought that was really cool. It's also got me itching because I'm also playing with, and I'm hoping I have a sample here because I'm trying to figure out how to run PC games on my on my MacBook here because I was like. This is my side rant, but I've been pontificating because I know that there's a lot of like if you have Linux. My brother's telling me about he threw Linux on an old laptop for his wife because she wanted to play a game that wasn't running good on Windows anymore. Threw Linux on and it was fine, kind of thing. So if I did this right, this is live. Screw it, we're doing this live. I installed something called Mythic that's based on something called Whiskey that's based on something else, I think. And it brings up the Epic Store. And 20XX is a game that I've been wanting to dig into, but I haven't had a proper PC to sit down with it. It's allegedly installing. It has installed, and there's no Mac version of it. It's installed a PC version of it. It is attempting to load it right now. I got a little circle going, and I'm sure it's doing a little bit more since it's trying to load basically Windows components on my Mac. It's a MacBook Pro M1 Pro. M1 Pro? Yeah, M1 Pro. And but anyways, so it's one of those like, it may work, it may not work, kind of thing. I'm not sure if this was the one that's still supported. And again, I look in this, not some of these, a lot of these games I do get a chance to play because they are on like GeForce Now. That's why I'm so into that platform, because it does allow me to get into some of the games that I'm not able to unless I like dust off a PC from, that's not like the greatest. But I also don't buy a lot of brand new games on these either. So, but I got a lot of legacy in here that I haven't dug into. So I'm hoping maybe I'll have a better, a little bit more for you on this episode, or maybe we'll do a Patreon or something if this loads up here. But it's nice to see there's a possibility. So that's called Mythic. For it, and it signs you right into the Epic Store. And I think it'll bring in some of the other ones as well if you have them installed on your Mac too, like GOG.com, Good Old Games, Steam, things like that. So, but mostly I'm just kind of seeing my Epic folder right now. So, But anyways, so yeah, that's there, and that's something you guys can get into and play with as well. If you have a Mac, a M series at least Mac, it should be pretty good for you too. So, anyways, hey, so yeah, go ahead.
Well, I say that is one nice thing about the M series Mac is that there's so many things designed for the iPhone and the iPad that the M series, since it's related, you can run things. A lot of people have already put the time and effort into making things run on those other platforms. It already works on the M series for Mac. So, I mean, this is something I kind of discovered as I'm starting to check out the new computer. Is I went to the App Store and looked under, apps that I've downloaded and updates, and then there's a tab for Mac apps and there's a tab for iOS apps. So I can just download iOS apps and put them on the Mac. Things like my the podcast player I use is Overcast. They have a Mac version. Now they don't have to design a Mac version because I'm just running the iOS version on a Mac.
No, it's pretty good. In a lot of these stores too are really good about I looked at I probably have about 300 games on my Steam account, and about the list is growing of ones that are compatible, and I have about 35 of them are workable on a Mac now. So that's kind of nice. I did get a Direct 3D error on this thing, so I don't know if there's something more that I need to install or something like that. I'm seeing if there's another kind of low end game that's not too crazy that I could try to get running here. Assassin's Creed Syndicate, that'll do something, right? So we'll see what we can get into. Deathloop, that's going to be too big of a thing. No, not Death Stranding. Here you go, Drawful 2. Let's see what this one does. That actually might be a Mac OS one, so we're not going to play with that one. But anyway, so that's something else to kind of play with there and see if you have any opportunity. You might have a chance to play some of these games that you normally don't get an opportunity to on here. God, every Fallout is in my account for some reason. This is linked to Xbox. That's why I have way too many games in this thing. Oh, okay. That makes a lot more sense now, because I'm like, I don't remember even getting these on the freebies or anything like that, right? But we'll see here. Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed. Let's see what this one does. We're going to install that one. It's like kind of a isometric Ghostbusters kind of situation. I'm unable to compete. Nope. Yeah, I'm getting some other issues too. We'll see what's going on with that. I might not have enough space on here or something too, so I might have to look into that. So I just threw it on my computer. I was waiting for something to process, and I was tinkering with my Mac and kind of asking Gemini questions, and it was leading to certainly. No, actually, that was a Google search, old school Google search. It might have even been a Bing, because I never reset my defaults for searches on Edge. Anyway, so we took a week off, and we didn't tell Chachi. So we now have a Chachi Says video game minute or two that we'll get into right now.
Hey kids, welcome back to the Chachi Says Video Game Minute. Here's as much video game news I can cover under a minute. After 15 years, the gaming historian YouTube channel has ended its run. In the 5-minute video, Norm announced the end of the series, stating that he is ready to move on from the channel, saying that the care and interest is no longer there to put the effort into the videos. The content will stay on YouTube, and I recommend you checking it out. And lastly, the U.S. Patent Office has rejected Nintendo's claim to patent the feature of summoning a character and letting it fight for you, stating that the patent is blocked by several earlier patents, including one submitted by Nintendo itself. This was an effort to shut down a Pokemon clone called Pal World, in which you capture, train, and work alongside monsters called pals. Now, this isn't a final block, which means Nintendo can keep fighting the claim. So, we shall see what happens. Thanks for tuning in to this week's Chachi Says Video Game Minute. We'll see you next time. Hey kids, welcome back to the Chachi Says Video Game Minute. Here's as much video game news as I can cover in about a minute. The FFA is looking to gamers to fill air traffic controller positions. Gamers are valued for their hand-eye coordination, decisiveness when facing complex situations, and the ability to focus on screens for hours on end. Crucial traits built over hours of gaming which incidentally are also useful in the high-stress environment of air traffic control. The job will pay high six figures after a few years, but it is the most stressful job on the planet as shown by the suicide rate associated with it. So maybe think twice about this job. And lastly, Darcy Smith, director of the University of Cincinnati's Digital Performance Lab, developed a game to help kids learn how to escape fires. Fire Escape is an interactive game used to teach kids how to escape a burning house. The game came about after he visited the Cincinnati Fire Museum and noticed that there isn't really any interactive exhibits. The game teaches the importance of escaping a burning house versus hiding in them, which is what most kids tend to do. It will debut soon at the Fire Museum and then expand to others from there. Thanks for watching this week's Chachi Says Video Game Minute. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, Chachi, for that. And we'll continue to plug plasticfuntimes.etsy.com whenever we talk about Chachi now. So go check that out for some interesting plastic wares on this 3D printer as he's been dealing with that. Hey, shout out to our friends at patreon.com/awesomecast that have been supporting this show, including our friends Brian Crawford, Cynthia Klosky, John Nagore, Dave Podner, who you can use code Dave26 at gcxc.com/eventspa for your runs. And I know you do a lot of that. Oh, what you got over there? What do you got? What are those little guys?
This is from Chachi.
Oh, the bag of fucks.
The bag of fucks, yes.
Yeah. No, we can only say it once. It's PG-13. No, you can say it twice. That's right. You can say the F word twice on PG-13.
Well, we're just quoting a product's name.
Absolutely. What else are we supposed to do?
Just like news, when they quote someone who says something, they're not saying it, they're just quoting someone else.
When swears are on political discourse right now, all bets are off as far as I'm concerned, right? You can't get at somebody when it's like, I literally need to put what the president said. It has an F word in it, because that's where we are now. But anyways, objectively, it's messed up. Let's just all agree on that. So anyways, after all of these years, let's get it. I got bad news, man. I don't know why. We could talk about this a little bit. So I got this email, and then I started seeing the articles pop up because I read it, and I'm like, it's one of the, you kind of read a thing, and you're like, wait, what does that mean for me? So I mentioned GeForce Now again, and I love Game Pass and the streaming cloud stuff. I mean, I play a lot. Most of my Xbox is on my TV in my living room through my Apple TV and OneCast app. Right? I've been playing High on Life 2 on it. I've been playing, basically just High on Life 2 lately on that when I'm not beating more Mario games. But Amazon put this note out and said, and help me find the bright side of this, Dave. It says Amazon will no longer allow owners to buy games, access game stores, or third-party subscriptions starting today. So that's the ability to buy games or access game stores. That means if you it's had a nice feature when I link in my EA, Ubisoft, GOG.com accounts. Anything I happen to have purchased on there, would become playable in the Amazon Luna Cloud. That was kind of handy, right? So, and if you purchased games of a la carte titles through Luna, again, Luna has, if you have Amazon Prime, you have a Luna subscription, okay? It doesn't have everything. You can upgrade to a premium, but also they were straight selling games straight through it, right?
Yeah.
So you had a lot of that, so this is confusing because it's saying you're not going to be able to access game stores, stuff like that. But Amazon said it. Yeah, so Amazon said it will not be offering refunds for purchase of a la carte titles through Luna, as you'll still be able to access games via their linked third-party accounts. So I don't know if they're saying if you bought it through Luna and then it's an EA game, you're still going to have access to it on EA. Is that what they're telling me here?
Yeah, that's what it's. Basically, they're saying, from what I'm reading, you can. You still own the game or own the rights to the game.
But I feel like not every game has a platform attached to it. If I bought Tomb Raider, what platform's that on through Luna? I don't understand that. Or are they going to backfill it back to GOG.com or something? So, and they're like, no refunds, you know. I was like, okay. So, and again, in this article over on IGN, like, also points out, if you have a Fire TV, Luna's on the front page. So what if and this has to be the case with some people where, I have Luna on my Fire TV. That's where I play video games. I don't have a console. And now they're taking that, like, if I bought a game, hey, yeah, I still own it on my EA.com account or my GOG.com account, but that's the thing I was playing it on. It's like telling me, hey, we know you bought like Halo on the Xbox 360. Go buy an Xbox One to play it. Oh, wait, that's what they're telling me to do with Windows right now on all my computers. Actually.
Oh.
Hey, you can't get Windows 11. Here, go buy a new one. Even though there's nothing wrong other than us telling you that Windows 10 is going to be out of service soon, which is literally the computer that you're on, Dave. I get that every week. That reminds me I need to throw away this computer and buy a new one. And then you're asking me, Sorg, why don't you just throw Linux on it? And I say, person out there, YouTube commenter, because the software that I need to use is PC based, and I'm kind of stuck with it, and I have not found a suitable alternative on both Linux or Mac. And if I did have actually there are alternatives on Mac, but Macs are expensive if you couldn't tell. I know because Dave's on one. Yeah, we'll get into that in a moment here. But no, there's a reason I only have M1s. You know what I mean? So, and I'm spending all my money buying freaking hard drives at twice the price of a year ago. So, yeah, and again, this is it does also point out on here. It reminds us that Amazon also said it's removing support for numerous older Kindle models. So it was. I would
say this: the Kindle models are like 12 years old.
Yeah, they're exceptionally old. But again, like, if it ain't broke, why replace it? Kind of situation. I mean, how do you improve much on a Kindle if you're literally just reading books? The move they did with the Kindles was, if it's already downloaded on your Kindle, you're good to go, bud. Don't worry about it. We're not taking it away from you. But if you ever have to factory reset or wanted new books on there, yeah, it ain't happening. And also connected to that, wasn't it? Actually, I guess Wi-Fi doesn't work, but the argument I was about to make was, weren't they like low key paying for a cellular connection for a lot of those? So
The early Kindles were all that price was built in. So you had WhisperNet, I think it was called, where you could download things wherever you were. You didn't need a cell phone because they were paying for it. That was pre 3G service. It was just text, so low speed was fine.
And again, this is 2012 or earlier.
Yeah.
So your battery even still work? Wow. So either way, so Amazon's making a lot of really good customer moves there, but also this again, it goes back to the. And now I'm kind of curious because we have new leadership over at Xbox, and that is the one store I do trust. I still do not trust Nintendo to buy digital games off of it, but I know sooner or later I'm going to have to break down on that, the way they're going, because I do not see a need to purchase a Game Key cartridge just to play a game I'm going to have to download anyways. Yeah. Like, I understand that, but... like maybe new games I'll be purchasing through that, and I just was not a fan of, I don't want to drop another like several $100 to be able to have the privilege to download more games like I do on the Xbox already. I accepted that on the Xbox because I'm all digital. Sure. I get that. And also, again, I trust the system. I feel like I just did a wrestling promo there. Sorry, I watched the TNA pay-per-view this weekend. But yeah, it's just this again. It reminds me of the Stadia situation, and Luna's still going. They're concentrating. Oh God, what was the quote that they said in there? They're concentrating on things like some subscription offerings they're still going to have. So there's still games. It still exists. Don't give us more money for it.
Easy access to great games.
Yes,
is what they're saying.
Yes, which sounds like
basically means. We want you to subscribe and keep getting money from you every month.
And that's what everybody wants. That's what Game Pass wants. Yeah. Although the new head of Xbox, she has said that Game Pass is too expensive. I'm with you, lady. And they are going to, I guess makes it more flexible, make it more accessible for gamers. And there's lower tiers and stuff for that too. But again, like, I love cloud gaming. I love playing the games I own on a different device, on my phone, on my TV, Apple TV, whatever the case may be. I want to play WWE 2K26. And I have 2 Xboxes Series S's, like, at the studio and in my bedroom. And it's like, oh no, I got to be in one of these places. I want the ability to play. You know what? There's a Cord Killers. Their mission is, on that podcast, is to watch anything, anywhere, whenever you want. I want to play my video games anywhere, any place, whenever I want. Game Pass is the closest thing to it for me. And that's why I've been all in, and they're getting $30 a month out of me right now. So for the privilege to do that. And again, the games, like, they are dropping so many games on Game Pass. It's almost pissing me off because it's all shit I want to play now, but they're all 20 to 30-hour games. Like, I'm in the middle of highlight.
$30. I wasn't familiar with Game Pass, so it's $30 a month.
That's the high end, yes.
Plus.
No. These are included.
Okay.
No. So hold on. The $30 a month, I have to have that in order to play. Like, I bought 2K26. It's not on Game Pass. I bought, what's the other game I bought recently? A Ninja Turtles arcade game. I bought there's another small game that's not on it, actually. The Marvel vs. Capcom collection is actually not on Game Pass Cloud. So there's the games that are like, here, you get these games in Game Pass, and maybe it'll be here for 3 months, maybe they'll be here for forever, who knows? But then, hey, I bought WWE 2K26, 25, 24, and they're all, you also have access to those. You don't have to download it in order to play. It's an extra feature. It's an extra privilege you get for having that. But no, I'm getting pissed because High on Life 2 dropped. I love the first one. I'm playing it now. It's a short game. It's only like 10 hours, and it's just a blast. But then, like, around there, they dropped Star Wars Outlaws. They dropped Cyberpunk, which I've been just patiently waiting to play. Then what was the other game? I'm still trying to get through Assassin's Creed Mirage, and it's not even as big as the other ones are. I gave up on Valhalla. It was just way too much. I need to go. I'll go back to that someday, but when I have all the freaking time in the world to do a 60-hour game. And then they dropped, speaking of 60-hour games, they dropped Like a Dragon into Infinite Wealth, which it took me like a year and a half to beat the last one. So, there's too much good shit on there. You're getting your money's worth if you have time. And guess what I don't have? So, and plus I'm trying to play my Nintendo Switch games. I'm trying to beat Luigi Mansion 1 on GameCube right now on my Switch so I can play 3. So, yes, the dilemma of too many wonderful options, isn't it, Dave?
Well, I mean, it's better than the other option of, you don't have the option, or it's going to be so much money to do certain things that, you're like, I want to play this, but each game costs $60 and I don't have all that money. So that is a positive, at least. Now, my question is this. How when games go on Game Pass, do they stay there a while, or is it like they're only on there for 3 months and then you have to purchase them individually? Or does it depend?
I'm sorry, what was that? What was that question again?
For Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
Once a game's on Game Pass, is it on there a good amount of time?
Usually a pretty good amount of time. I mean, at minimum, I think I've seen a game go 3 months. Like the Yakuza games were on there forever. Then they took them all off. And I got through like a couple of them. The day and dates are really nice on it. Like they have deals with like EA Play and Ubisoft Plus Classics is on there. So as long as they have that deal, and that's also the higher tiers, like, let's also explain, when you're paying $30 a month, you're also getting Fortnite Crew, which is a $12 subscription by itself. So I'm getting all the extras when I play Fortnite. I get the Game Pass and everything on that, right? So the fun thing is, even though I'm not sitting on an Xbox all the time, speaking of playing anything, anywhere, anytime I want, I can pick up my iPhone and play Fortnite I can play up my Switch and play Fortnite, and I have all the stuff that I'm getting from the Xbox subscription.
Okay,
That's beautiful.
Good.
That's freak. I love that about that. The credits don't always roll over, so I have to go back to my Xbox or log into the cloud and if I want to buy something, because you get like $1,000 a month or something like that, and it was like, that kind of thing. Anyways, so but the point is, and then you also get Ubisoft, you also get EA, so there's even more games on top. I think it's something like 500 games you have access to. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And then, like everything else, I think you have a shorter shelf life if you do like I think they have a $15, $10 version, something like that. There's like 3 tiers, I think, right now. But I'm like, no, give me I need a cloud play. Let's go kind of thing. So, and I think they'll shift around. We'll see what her idea of flexibility looks like here. And I honestly, the big thing that I'm missing on Game Pass, I want a family pass, because I got everything set up down there, but my wife still needs to go to the bed, go to one of the physical Xboxes to play stuff on her account that's not on the top of my save. We were talking about the digging game, or a game about digging a hole. Yeah, that's it. The game about digging a hole. And I was like, I'm not playing this. You should play this. Have fun. I was very fortunate that Power Wash Simulator is on the Apple TV, so she could play it over there and not mess with my account. So, anyways, because we have all of the subscriptions. Well, we got the Apple One, so that's family, and that's for everybody, so everybody has access. So that seems worthwhile at the moment. So that's the other thing. I end up with family plans with my wife, and then there's like 2 to 3 to 4 more seats. I think I have 8 seats on Nintendo Switch, and I'm just like, hey brother, you want to be on my account? Hey friend, you want to be on my account? Hey, I know you got a Nintendo Switch. You want to be on my online account? You want to play the GameCube games with me? Kind of thing. So, but there's nothing to kind of keep you from doing that. So as long as they're somebody you trust enough to be on a joint account or something like that, you're good to go. A little more sketchy when you get on the Apple, because then it's like, well, everybody's store comes out of my account. Which gets sketchy sometimes. Some people subscribe to things. Some people subscribe to certain channels that I will never watch on pure principle. But I'm the one that gets that receipt every year for $70 for the year subscription. So, and I'm just like, I just forwarded my wife and be like, hey, get this taken care of. Okay. Are we getting reimbursed for this, or are we gifting this kind of thing? Either way. A little bit of plus and minus, but also help you understand what's kind of going on over there. Tell me about weather channels, as we just had a big thunderstorm here, and I was worried about the power for a minute.
Yeah, but we had it a little bit earlier. So for those of us of a certain age, remember what the Weather Channel used to look like.
Sure.
It wasn't.
I didn't have cable, but I've been to other people's places, and I'm like, what is this fascinating channel with only weather? How about that?
Yes. And not only is it only weather, but it also had things like, it didn't have what the current Weather Channel has on it, where, it's like, oh, no, if you wanted to know what the weather was, you went to the Weather Channel.
And that's it.
That's it.
That's nothing else. They would have the Weather Channel back when I used to go to a certain sheets on the way to wrestling shows, like once or twice a month that were working. We would always sit at sheets, and they would always have the Weather Channel, and it was all about how storms are destroying people. And it would be shows documenting terrible nights of tornadoes and hurricanes and things like that. Yeah, but the crawl's still there with your weather. So, but anyways,
so what the Weather Channel has done is put up a website where it's retro Weather Channel.
This is they did this. This isn't somebody.
They did this, yeah.
And I got this is clickable.
Oh yeah, if you put your location in,
it looks like a CRT.
Yes.
And this is what
there
you
we
get.
go.
Hey,
it's literally the same quality, and if you put the music on, it's the kind of hold music that they used to play.
Oh my gosh, I can't bring it up because we have too many other streams going on right now. Yeah. Hold on, let me see if I can do this. Okay, we might be able to do this here. Oh yeah, oh yeah, I hear you. Some of that smooth jazz.
But again,
oh wait. Oh, there was somebody talking. Says something cast from the Weather Channel.
Yeah, I mean, literally.
I'm gonna go to
it's
sleep to
exactly-
this thing.
This
This
the
is
Weather Channel
amazing.
from the 80s.
What's
This
that?
is the Weather Channel from the 80s.
Yes.
And honestly, there's so much complicated.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you want, like same thing with the news. If you want, remember CNN used to have something called CNN Headline News?
Mm-hmm.
Because they push so much stuff on CNN. They said, oh, people just want to hear the headlines. So we're going to make a channel then
it was
started
like
to add
every
headlines.
10 or 15 minutes they just repeated the news. So I remember having that on like in the Prime Star days. Yeah. And
that was great.
Yeah. And then it became just like everything else at some point. So you got a little thing hanging above your head. I don't know how long it's been there. You had like an audio settings thing that popped up above your head.
Okay.
I think it's when you switch things. So I don't know how long that's been up there. Anyway, yeah, no, because everything does this in cable. You like everything from MTV to Tech TV to G4 just ends up playing cops eventually. That's the evolution. It's the we talk about the enshittification of social media and the rent seeking that happens, and things are becoming bad products because they've taken over and screwed the customer. That's what cable did. Cops was the enshittification of cable.
Well, cops and other things. I would say cops and other things, but you also had a matter of
like 80% of it was cops.
But remember, you also had TLC, which stood for the Learning Channel, right?
Yeah.
TLC was the learning. It was supposed to be PBS on cable.
Yeah.
And now TLC is 90 Day Fiance.
Yep.
15 versions of that.
Everybody's lost the plot of why they were there. They go for, because it wasn't working, and they're going to slide towards the thing that, oh God, I hope we make money from this. You know what I mean? I mean, our news does too. Honestly, like, our, generally we've seen it across the board, and and that's why nobody has cable subscriptions anymore, except for my mom. Because
we still do, but
okay.
But I'm kind of wondering at this point how much longer.
It's sliding. We'll see what happens with these mergers in the next year. Everybody's shedding their channels too. Like that's kind of interesting. There's going to be a big fallout when it comes to all that kind of stuff, I think, in the very, very near future. So either way, let's look at Waymo. I like this. We had Uber in this town, and they said, we're going to help out with some society things, and while we're doing our automated cars tests here in the city of Pittsburgh, and we're going to completely help you out. And then like a few years later, Mayor Peduto says, you have not done a single thing you said you were going to do for all the concessions we gave you to move into our town. We're done with this experiment, was basically how it is. And they moved away because they didn't get all their tax breaks anymore, or whatever the case may be. Well, Waymo is offering to, a Google company, is offering to help cities fix their potholes. Now, to be fair, the company is also, this also helps them. If you fix your potholes, that helps them not break their cars. So, I mean, it's a mutually kind of beneficial kind of situation. According to The Verge, it's going to share pothole data with select cities in the interest of making streets safer to drive for hundreds of humans and robots. There you go. Pittsburgh could use this. And that's one thing. I know in this town, we had an app that was like a pothole tracker. And we have the 311 app where you can hey, this is a problem. I remember when that first came out, I had it on my phone. I don't know if it's operational anymore because I don't know if the last administration believed in technology here in Pittsburgh. But there would be oh, the sign's down. Oh, there's a stop sign missing. And I would see it fixed within a week whenever I reported something. I would get updates on, hey, this has been reported to this department. Hey, this department started responding to it on this day. I got continued updates on it through their system. I thought that was great. That was one of the things, for whatever else was going on, the things that I will always give Mayor Bill Peduto, friend of the PodCamp circles, friend of Chachi Plays for Kids, he brought the data-driven city to Pittsburgh. He helped modernize it. There's still a display at the fucking airport, by the way. Maybe they finally removed it with all the renovations, but there's still the smart city display with him talking about it. And I remember this when I did the AI driving sessions and filmed those for these guys and out in Bakery Square. And you know how there's a corridor that was going to be like through, that's basically like that Baum Boulevard, you know, center of the city corridor between you know, basically between I want to say between Oakland-ish, I know that's not entirely true, and East Liberty, that, you know, detected cars and changed and did pattern flow recognition, and that's one of the things that the display at the airport has always had. But you know, that was the kind of the snowplow tracker was what came out around this time, right? Now we just can't keep snowplows going, you know. And now companies have to give us money, so we have snowplows, you know, and stuff. So that hopefully we don't bug them for taxes. It's like maybe maybe they paid all their taxes, we'd have all the snowplows. I don't know. I don't know politics. I don't know how city works. Anyways.
By the way, I just checked.
Yes. Thank you.
It's getting horrible reviews in the Mac App Store.
Okay.
But the last update was March 26th.
For the
Pittsburgh 311.
The Pittsburgh 311 app?
Yep.
1.7
ratings, 1.7 out of 5.
Listen, that's just everybody just complaining about the city, maybe, too. So
there's a lot of that.
I would not take any, like, like, it's probably a 1-star review just talking about how much they don't like Mayor Ed Gainey, or they think that O'Connor looks like a child in a business suit, and you know, or whatever the case may be. Oh shit, this became political. Oh no, we became that show. I'm sorry.
But no, that's not political.
That's not political.
That's not how good or bad he is as a politician.
Apparently every opinion I have is political, Dave, so I don't know what to do about that.
No, I saw a video of all the work they did for partially the NFL draft, but also things that would help afterwards.
Don't get me started.
On Point State Park.
Okay,
and they're saying what they did, and they, you know, the fountains and with the lawn and making things better that way because things needed done.
Sure.
And there's Corey O'Connor right there, and yes,
he is the. I feel like I barely saw the last mayor, like only when he had to do a press conference around something that was messed up. And Corey O'Connor is like hopping into the fountain. He's hopping on a train. He's in his big boy suit. And you know what? I don't know. He may still be a scumbag for all I know. I don't know. But I appreciate the front-facing nature of what he's doing. He doesn't need to do this. He won the damn election. We don't have to think about it for what, 4 years, right? 2 years? What is it in the city? I don't know.
3 years.
3 years? 3 years?
Why
did we pick 3 years?
It was last year.
What's
it was last year.
It was last year, yeah. So
3 more years.
But either way, like, as like his team gets social media and is not hiding in a dark corner, okay? So
and honestly,
whatever you think his policies, he's saying, hey, look at the stuff we're doing. This, I mean, the whole this is you're the ambassadors for this town bullshit speech the other day. I have some reservations about, but other than that, what is this show now? It's a Pittsburgh podcast, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah.
But I mean, honestly, when it comes to mayors and local, it's about the things that impact you day to day.
It is.
You know, it's not the grand, for the most part. Now, sometimes they do talk about the grand big things and grand big guy, but mostly it's about, you know, fire response, medical, you know, if there's an EMS as part of your town, you know, that police, dealing with the roads, you know, basic services, things like that. That's what you want your local government to be involved in.
Speaking earlier of iOS apps that work on the Mac, there's the 311 app if you're curious. Now, I'm wondering how you can create a new request, and I remember it had me attach a photo. And let's see, I can report an abandoned vehicle. Don't report. I'm so worried. I have a vehicle that's been decommissioned on my front pad for a while, and I'm like, oh god, they're going to take it. But I'm like, oh no, it's still registered. We're good. Yeah. So yeah, you can do everything from here on your Mac. So animal control. Oh, you can see what kinds of requests. Do I have an animal? I do have an issue with animal waste. Let's take care of this. Is there a loose dog? So this is here. Whether everybody's on the other end listening, we can see what that's about. Deer management pilot. How about turkeys? I almost hit a turkey the other day. Dude, my side of Beachview is lousy. I saw like 5 of them take their damn time crossing the street. And I'm just like, got places to go, guys. What are we doing? Turkeys? I see more turkeys in deer in the city than my dirt road in Mercer County growing up. I freaking swear, man. I mean, I walk out the house and they're just looking at me like, what do you want? Like, you do not mess with city deer, okay? No. They will.
Or turkeys.
Somebody,
I'll bring this up.
They will shank you.
When the U.S. Open came to Oakmont last year.
Oh, yeah, you had that whole deal.
Well, the thing that was funny was you had all these out-of-towners come in, just like they're going to come in for the draft, right? Mm-hmm. It just hundreds of thousands of people. And you would have these people apparently from cities or other suburbs and other locations. And they would call, like if they were staying somewhere in a bed and breakfast, like, or an Airbnb, hey, there's a deer walking down the middle of the road.
Shouldn't somebody do something about this?
Yeah. And the response was, well, is it causing an issue? And the answer was no. Well, the deer is going to be out there.
Leave the deer alone. That's the mission. That's the hot tip. That's your awesome tip of the week. Leave the deer alone. Yes.
But I'm waiting for the NFL draft next week for all these people to come in from everywhere else, and then all of a sudden they wake up and they may even be in the city. Mm-hmm. They're saying the hotels aren't that full. I don't know if people are using Airbnbs or doing something else.
I don't trust any of that data point.
But I agree. But then all of a sudden they wake up and they're like, oh, I'm in a big city with an NFL team, a Major League Baseball team, a hockey team. And you walk out and there is like 6 deer walking right across the lawn at the place you're staying at. And not really spoofed that much by you because they're used to people. And they're going to be like,
what are you looking at?
What downtown am I in?
What are you looking at?
Exactly.
Oh, my God. On that note. Where are we at? My watch is dying, so I can't get the time. You have another feature. You have one more feature you need to do here. I was going to ask you, and I feel so bad that we've gone like a week without a show to have a segment for this, because I was like, I wonder if it's a month. I wonder if it's whose month is this? Dave, you've done Black History Month. You've done Women's History Month. Mm-hmm. And I legitimately didn't know until I looked at the doc here a little bit ago. Dave, whose month is April?
It's Arab American History Month.
I did not know that.
I honestly...
my Disney Plus doesn't tell me that like it does Pacific...
Black History Month.
No. What is it? Pacific American Month, I think,
is
one
of them.
Fall.
That's in the fall.
It's not. That's not what they call it. It's something else. But
it's Asian American Pacific Islander.
Right. Which is again something I was not aware of until like Disney started telling me about it, and we want to watch Moana every year.
I wonder why. I wonder why they're worried about the Asian Pacificers.
I don't know.
The Pacific Islanders.
I don't know, man.
Rock with a wig. Yes.
Rock with the wig. Anyways, whose month is it? We already know. Who are we celebrating today?
Arab American History Month. And honestly, one of the reasons I'm kind of looking out for this is I'm one of the co-chairs of our BIPOC group at work, which is Black Indigenous People of Color group as an ally. And so I'm always just trying to look for things that maybe aren't as pushed in the general media.
Yeah.
As a couple in the months.
Because you're not seeing the Arab American Month on WWE television.
Exactly.
I mean, although I would love a piece where it's just about the Iron Sheik, right? So I think I got that right.
However, before we get people complaining, the Iron Sheik was from Iran,
Yes.
and they are not Arabs.
Oh,
They are
because I was about to ask if I was got that right. I looked at a map recently and I had questions.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a different ethnic group.
Okay. No,
There's a different
apologies
Yeah.
to my Iranian friends out there.
Oui. Yes. Sheik will.
We're bleeding into the other show, Dave. Let's bring
Yes,
it
I
back.
know. Okay,
Bring it
don't wanna
back
go there.
around. Who
Okay.
are we talking about?
Okay. We're talking about Tony Fadell, who the
I know that
name may
name.
sound familiar.
Yes.
The father of the iPod
Oh. Okay.
and Nest.
The temperature
Thermometers that Google bought. Yes.
Yeah.
So he was an outside contractor for Apple.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually brought in to make their music player.
Mm-hmm.
And it turned out that it was just a matter of he didn't have the staff, and he brought a bunch of people in that he worked at his other company, including the software, which Apple purchased the company for the software.
He's the one on the right if you're on video.
Okay. To make the original iPod. And he was the main force behind it. He is mixed heritage. His, I believe, father is Lebanese and his mother is Scottish.
Nice.
And then after, iPods, basically Apple came to when they were making the iPhone, they said we can either make something like a mini computer or, like a little touch screen computer, or we can make something that's like an iPod that's a phone. Well, they went with the version of the iPod that we all use. And we can say that was a good idea because literally, if you look at one of the fake mock-ups was basically an iPod with the one that had the clicker wheel on it and using that as a dowel. That was kind of their idea, to make an iPod, the old iPods with the hard drives in them, make that into a phone. And so after that went away, he decided to move along and start another company. So he started Nest. That eventually got bought out by Google. Now he's doing his own thing. But when you have you're involved with the starting of two major projects. That is really amazing as an individual. Just saying, if he was just known as the father of the iPod, which took MP3 players from, hey, here's something that you see once in a while, or someone who really has to know what they're doing to use it, to all of a sudden everyone has it. Yeah. And then on top of that, now you have Nest, where there were programmable thermostats before that, but they made it easy to use. Not necessarily cheap, but they made it easy. So it made it easy and it made it popular to use.
Two very game-changing products. Cool. Very cool. Dave, thank you so much for bringing us that and bringing some awareness on this issue. No, not an issue. On the month in our history, if you will. So awesome. Thank you so much again, Dave Podner, Poff Pod on most of your social medias.
Yeah, just kind of follow me around.
Yep.
I know we'll be back on before the draft, but I'm actually headed down on Friday for the draft.
I'm very interested. I saw there was like an app for it and everything that was being advertised. So have fun.
Yeah.
You need the app
to get it.
Just like you needed at Universal and Disney. So same thing. I am very interested in that. Man, I'm almost tempted to go down there for a day if I could get in.
No cost.
Just to see what they do. You know what I mean?
Literally, it's no cost. It's just sign up. Here I am. Here's the day. It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
Thursday, Friday night. Saturday starting at noon.
I don't know. My Friday's open. Maybe we'll work something out there. I don't know. Either way. Oh wait, no. Maybe we might be doing Top Rope Tabletop. I don't know. Actually, I have to check my schedule. Either way, guys, thank you so much. Thank you, Dave, for joining us. Thank you, Chachi, for turning in your video game minutes, even when we didn't have a show. We'll be back next week, live in the studio, regular times and everything like that. We don't get weird again until May, and honestly, I think we're going to still do the shows for most of May. Since we know a producer can work the studio with us gone. just may be happening remotely. So, guys, thank you so much. We'll see you next time. You have been our awesome audience. Have an awesome week. This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at Sorgatron.